I got this. Okay. Hey guys, Patty here. So today, as you can tell by the title, this is going to be a discussion. Yeah, this is going to be a discussion. I'm not going to rant. I might ramble a little bit, but mainly I want this to be a discussion because I really want you guys to share your thoughts down below. Please, if you take this, I'm going to try to make this short, but if you take a couple minutes to watch this video, I'm sure it will spark something inside of you in some form of an opinion. And whether you agree with what I'm going to say or disagree with what I want to say, I really want you to post your comment down below because I really want this to be something that people are going to talk about. It's something that's being talked about on Twitter right now. People are posting blog posts about it and people are going to be posting videos about it. And I think the more that we put this out there and talk about it and everyone's going to see this stuff, the more that they will realize that they made a mistake. And what did they make a mistake on? Having a blogging panel, but having it focus on one booktuber. That's vlogging, not blogging. I'm not sure if they didn't realize what the difference was. Blogging, vlogging. BB, booktuber, book blogger. I mean, there's an obvious difference, right? Right? Okay, so it's not just me. So, like I'm sure most of you have heard, there has been some pretty interesting tweets going on right now thanks to BEA. And if you haven't heard, basically there was supposed to be a blogging panel. Actually, let me pull up the name of the panel. There's supposed to be a panel, and what actually really upsets me the most about this is that I actually, when I first found out about BEA, this was a panel that I actually really wanted to see because I am a book blogger. I'm a book blogger and a booktuber. So the panel was the publishing process, book bloggers have changed, the publishing process, how bloggers have changed the game. Sweet. Yeah, that was the one I really wanted to go to. But instead of it being how bloggers changed the game, they turned it to how blank booktuber changed the game. Might as well have just, like, I mean, there wouldn't have been so many upset individuals if you just titled that the name of the panel, because they would know what they're going to go to this panel. They're like, okay, this panel is going to be all about this booktuber. It's not going to be about blogging, it's going to be about booktubing, right? No, but when you pay money to get into this event, and then you go to this panel because you're a blogger and you think this is going to be fascinating, really interesting, going to be really insightful, there's going to be a lot of information, there's going to be a lot of knowledge you could take away from this, and you get into this panel and all they're talking about is booktubing? Really? And then to have the audacity to say this, and I saw this from a tweet, and this is a quote. This person who tweeted it, thank you Faye, at daydreamin_star for tweeting this, because when you have the audacity to say this, bloggers don't make as big as an impact as booktubers. You might as well have just went along and said that we don't matter by saying we don't make as big as an impact as booktubers. I mean, hey, I guess, hey guys, she said we made at least we make somewhat of an impact, but just not as big as a booktuber. I really wish this individual, and I should say, I don't know who said this, I don't know exact names of who was on the panel and whatnot, and I'm not going to say the name of the booktuber that they focused on. I'm just not going to go there. Thank you Giselle at Book Nerd Canada and Amber at the Mile Long Bookshelf for your tweets and blog posts, because if it wasn't for you two, I wouldn't say I was in the dark, I would really know what's happening, but I probably really wouldn't have shared my opinion on it, so thanks girls. So that's where I got this information from, and this is where I'm going expressing my opinion on. So if you want to go ahead and say that I took whatever was said at this book expo out of context, go ahead, sure, leave that down below. But I'm pretty sure that there's going to be, I want to say hundreds of people out there that is going to agree with what I'm about to say or along the same lines of what I'm going to say. As a book blogger, we matter. We make an impact. You want to know why? Because we do basically the same exact thing as a booktuber. We post book reviews. One's a post, as in it's written, and one's post in terms of it's a video. The only thing that's different is in terms of how we are putting our how we're putting our opinion out there. That's mainly the only difference. One's a video, one's a written post. Really? Cool. Bloggers? We have blog tours. For those of you who might not know what a blog tour is, basically an author goes and pays somebody to get a list of people who will receive either an advanced copy of a book, or sometimes it's a book that's already been released but they still want to push some promotion for it. You get a copy of the book. It could be an ebook and a physical book sent. I think physical ones more so happen in the States. You get to read it and you write a review on it. Most ones you get to write a review whether, even if you didn't like it or you liked it, it doesn't matter. Some blog tours they do have where you have a 3-star minimum. That's a whole entire discussion itself. But you put that out there, your review's out there. That author paid for that to happen. So that author knows that these book bloggers are making an impact because they sat there and went, I'm going to get a couple of book bloggers to read my book and put out a review so I can read their thoughts on what they thought of my book. They didn't sit there and go, I'm going to go and contact a bunch of booktubers. I'm going to see, this is going to be happening frequently, and I'm going to ask them to make videos on my book. I mean, I'm sure maybe it might happen, blog tours. I haven't heard of it, but maybe it does happen. But blog tours happen on blogs. Book Blitz happen on blogs. Book Blitz are promotional posts that happen where they do giveaways, Dreamcast playlist, interview the author, Q&A, so like and guest post, synopsis, like they just do everything. It's a promotional post. They do it, all this stuff to get that post out there. Authors pay somebody to do that, and they go to bloggers to do that. See how we're making an impact? Release date blitz. Do you want to know who they go to for that? Bloggers. I know you guessed it. I know, yeah. So to go and have the audacity to say that we don't make as much as an impact, ouch. Really, it's kind of like a smack in, it's just like a slap in the face. Like, really might as well just say that we just don't matter, because it just really upsets me. And the fact that this happened at a panel, the fact that this is a big, huge event that everybody talks about, everybody wants to go to and whatnot, I just can't even believe this happened. And the worst part is that a lot of booktubers are actually book bloggers. They do both. I do both. There are so many people out there who do both. And then there's the people who started out book blogging, and then once booktubing started, they got into the booktubing as well. Book blogging happened first. I'm just gonna put it out there that blogging came way before YouTube. I mean, if you disagree, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but that's mine. We matter, we make an impact because there are authors who reach out to us as bloggers to read their work and to review it and to share our honest opinion on it. Yes, people do that in the video as well, but I'm gonna more so focus on trying to give praise back to us book bloggers, because that right there, seeing that on Twitter, like, seriously, going to my phone and opening up Twitter and seeing that tweet, I was just like, what? I mean, that would kind of, in a sense, that can discourage some book bloggers from blogging. They can sit there and read that and be like, this person's basically trying to say that I don't matter. In terms of what I do, what they're passionate about, doesn't really matter. What is there driving them to continue? Blogging's not easy. It's a lot of hard work. There is a lot of tedious work that goes into blogging, because some people, they pay to have their website. They're paying a monthly fee to have their website. They paid someone to design their website, or they designed the website themselves. They thought of, okay, what kind of style do I want to go with? What kind of flow do I want to have? What do I want my blog to say about me? What do I want my review to really say about me? When I write my review, how do I write a review that really draws people's attention to it? How do I get it that they read that first sentence and they keep on reading? They just don't stop after that first sentence. There is a lot of thought process and stress that goes into blogging. And it's just about the same amount of stress that goes into booktubing. What video am I going to film today? What am I going to talk about in my video? How is my video going to be different from everybody else's? How am I going to get people to watch my video? Like, there is the same kind of stress that goes into both. There is the same kind of information that gets shared on both. Some of you might want to say, well, yeah, you have tags on BookTube. Tags happen on blogs. I've seen it. I've seen tags happen on blogs. It's really easy. You just take what you're going to say in a video and put it on a blog post and tag bloggers. Same thing. Both do book reviews, both do hauls, both do tags. Both do discussions as well. See where there isn't really much of a difference? Other than the fact that bloggers had blog tours, book blitz, release date blitz. Hey, if someone wants to tell me that it happens on YouTube as well, actually there are people who will film theirs, but I mean, if you want to go and say that it happens all the time on BookTube, go ahead. Leave me some links. Show me them. I'm not saying show me them as proof. I mean show me them because I actually want to see them. I do generally want to see them. But it is the same information or same opinion that we are putting out there, the same amount as hard work that we're putting out there in terms of how we felt when we read a book. Like, how many of you joined booktubing or book blogging because you wanted to fangirl with somebody? You wanted other people that you can go crazy about a book or talk about how much you really didn't like that ending, or how much that character really drove you up the wall, or how much that writing style just did not work for you. How many of you joined because like you want to be able to talk about, oh my gosh, this book's coming out and I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, I want to do a buddy read. Who wants to read this with me? Hey, I want to start a new club on Goodreads. I could just go on and on and on and on and on. But mainly what I want to say is the fact that someone went out there and openly and publicly said that we don't make as much as an effort, as an impact as booktubers, really pisses me off. Really, really, really does. And the fact that this just goes back to a popularity thing in booktubing. This is why people leave booktubing. This is why all of a sudden now there's booktubing drama. I mean, I don't really remember, maybe because I wasn't really a booktuber, but I don't really remember there ever really being booktubing drama before. And I don't think there was, because I think there was that set amount of people who were booktubers. And now that there's more people in there and there's just different opinions for different things out there, it has turned into this Mean Girls. I will continue to say that booktubing has turned into Mean Girls. And you guys all know the scene I'm talking about. Her first day, gymnasium, tables and whatnot. This is another reason why booktube will just continue being like this, because some book bloggers are probably going to scorn and turn up their nose and really dislike booktubers more if they didn't already. Some booktubers are going to be like, great, now we look bad. See where there's just all these little mini problems that I feel like that statement is going to start and spark, and it's just so bad because I don't understand why one has to be better than the other. Why can't we equally be just as good? Why can't we equally make an impact? Why can't that be the main focus? That booktubers and book bloggers are making an impact in the book and publishing community, industry, whichever one you want to call it. I don't understand why that couldn't be the statement. Why it had to be a booktuber was the one making the impact, and that book bloggers aren't making an impact whatsoever. I don't understand. And if someone really understands and wants to leave that down below, do it. I'm going to leave the link for the blog, the amazing blog post that I read. And I want to try to capture some of these tweets and put it into this video, but I'm really not going to edit this video at all. This is going to be patty raw. This is just me expressing my opinions, and this is all. So I will leave the link for the blog post, and I think from there you can probably find a couple of the tweets, and I'm pretty sure that even if you were to Google, you would be able to find a lot of the tweets, and I'm sure you'd be able to find a lot of more information on who it was, and who the booktuber was, and all that jazz. But really, BEA, I really hope you guys learn from this huge mistake you made, and I hope in the future this doesn't happen again, because this would make me not go to BEA next year. And I was really looking forward to it. I was really looking forward to this year, and that was one of the panels I wanted to see. Will I go and see a panel next year? Probably not. Because if this is going to turn into a booktube popularity contest, I don't care. I have better things I can be doing. Yeah. So, to wrap it up, I'm outraged of what was said about book bloggers. I know I don't sound like it. I did my woo-saw. And I want to say we deserve an apology because we do make an impact. And I want to give a round of applause to the people who walked out, because you guys made a difference. You stood up for what you believed in, the fact that you were not impressed with what the information and knowledge that they were sharing with you guys, and you guys walked out. And they will remember that there is someone there who's sitting there being like, oh my god, a bunch of people just walked out of the panel I organized. Good. I hope the person who organized this will learn from this mistake. And really the next time when they decide, I'm going to make a blogging panel, they'll be like, oh, eureka, I'll include bloggers. I mean, it's not that hard. I think it's pretty simple. I think it's a job that any one of us could have done. And this, because I don't know if it's still happening or whatnot, I have no idea, would not have happened. So yeah, this is probably a very long video, so I'm going to stop now. But share your comments below. I will leave the link to Amber's blog post, and I will leave the link to Giselle's Twitter and Amber's Twitter. Follow them or reply to your tweets. Share your opinion on their blog post. I'm pretty sure that Giselle has one too, and if she does, I'm going to put the link. Well, I'm going to read it first and then I'm going to put the link. But yeah, so the links will be down below. That's it for now. I will be posting another video today because I originally had a plan for today. This wasn't the plan until I went onto Twitter, but that's it for now. Bye! Hey guys, I'm back. I changed my mind. I really do want to include some of the tweets that I came across because they're just fabulous. So I'm just going to read them out. So Luna's Little Library, at Luna's Library, tweeted, like, seriously, half the room has left. It's been pointed out and still you tell me booktubing is better. There's room for both. Could not agree more. This girl, 3 of them, had really good tweets. Steph, Kat, and Meg at Buggery, I think so. Not gonna lie, I find it odd how you can have a panel about how book bloggers have changed the game with no book bloggers on the panel. Yep, well put. Another one from the same account is, who's going to talk about blog tours, Twitter campaigns, interviews, acquiring publishing contacts, keeping those contacts? BEA. Leah Mosher, at Leah_BSV, she tweeted, so the publishing process, how bloggers have changed the game, which was the name of the panel, is actually a session about how awesome one particular booktuber is. Yep. And another one of her tweets was, and now someone in the audience has asked about how bloggers have changed the game. A pretty entertaining trend wreck is occurring. I so would have loved to have been there to see this happen. This is another one from Steph, Kat, and Meg. Show of hands, who started a blog or YouTube channel to sell books for publishers? Crickets. Yeah, apparently this was another thing that was said. I must have missed that one. And then I saw this, so I'm gonna guess that someone already tried to backpedal, and I don't know if she was on the panel, but I think she's an author of The Darkest Mind, Alexandra Bracken. So she had a tweet, there's 2 parts of it, but basically what she tried to say was, thank you so much for everyone who came to the panel, and that she was really sorry about the confusion about the topic, and that it was pitched to them about it being about booktubing, focusing on their experiences. And then she puts at the end, we obviously love book bloggers and booktuber alike very, very much. I feel like there was some backpedaling done, and this is kind of like an excuse in a sense. That I don't know, that was what I got for it when I just saw the tweet. And it's funny because then I went to Amber's post and she has an updated part and she included this, and she basically said, not that it was an excuse, but it doesn't excuse what happened. And I think we had the same mindset where it's nice that someone kind of in a sense apologized, but it doesn't change what happened. I think the fact that they realized that they made a mistake and now they're trying to backpedal out of it and make it kind of seem like, oh, we weren't really trying to say this, but it was pitched to us like this, and this is why it came out like that. Still wasn't right, but I really just wanted to include that, so okay, now that's it. Bye.